Hey guys, I'm Evan. Welcome to Country View Acres. So it has rained for the last 3 days. We've got somewhere over 3 inches of rain, which is good for the field that we just planted. But I'm gonna try to burn this brush pile behind me today, and it may not want to burn, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I've already splashed on about a gallon of diesel on this side of it, and we'll see if it'll stay burning or not. So I got my Big Max torch here. That's what I'm gonna light it with. And I do have a garden hose out here strung out just in case we need it. It probably wouldn't do much, but we have it. So a few minutes before I started, I did call the county sheriff's department. I talked to the 911 dispatcher, let them know we were burning a brush pile today. They have my address, my name, my phone number. And basically, if somebody thinks that the workshop is on fire or my house is on fire, they're gonna call me first before they send out any fire trucks. So just trying to prevent a false alarm, you know, so. But to me, it doesn't look like it's gonna burn. Looks like it's mostly just burning like the leaves off the limbs and the pine needles, and doesn't really look like any of the wood is catching fire. But yeah, it has been very damp. With over 3 inches of rain, you can understand why this probably won't burn. Well, I think that was a dud, so I think we're gonna move on to something else. So out here in the orchard, we have a problem. So this is one of our white peach trees, which is Rebecca's favorite. And you can see that all these leaves are wilting and dying. And it's not the entire tree, it just seems to be this one branch. So which splits into like 3 branches. So we've got 3 full branches here that are completely dying off. And we've never had problems with peach trees. Like apple trees, they always get some kind of blight. They always have some type of problem. But the peach trees have been very consistent. So this is our first time with a problem like this. So not sure exactly what we need to do, but we don't want to lose the whole tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this entire limb off, and then I was going to throw it on that brush pile and just burn it today. But I just want to take this limb off, and then hopefully the disease don't spread to the rest of the tree. The sad thing is there's only 3 main branches on this tree, and this thing's probably pushing 5 inches in diameter. And I hate to cut it off. I really do.
But we'd rather cut it than lose the tree.
Yeah, and Rebecca was just saying that this happened very quickly. This happened over the course of
like 2 days.
Yeah. So maybe it's just because we got so much rain, but we're afraid it's some kind of disease. So this may not be the right decision, but we're just going to cut it off right here, and we're going to leave a couple feet of this limb, and then hopefully it'll start growing back. It's a heavy branch.
I know. It may knock me down.
Yeah. Just don't let it hit your feet.
I can feel the weight.
Yeah, it's not much left here. Oh.
I'm trying.
You got my blade pinched now.
Do I need to let it down or what? Oh, it's going.
I got it. Let me switch you.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I was trying not to let it break.
Yeah.
All right. It's cut off. Hopefully we don't have more limbs start doing the same thing. There you go. This is Rebecca's idea. She wanted to drag it with the four side by side.
I think I'm dragging the hose.
Oh, you do have the hose. Hold on. All right, you're free. Well, it looks like the fire has pretty much gone out. So out here in our orchard, we have a total of 3 peach trees, and that was the only one that's showing any signs of blight or disease. So hopefully we'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully the other ones don't have it, but that happened, like Rebecca was saying, that happened really quick. It's like probably over the course of 3 days. It was like perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden all the leaves started like hanging down and then started curling up and then turning brown. So whatever it was, it happened quickly. But I think we're done out here. We're gonna head over to the livestock. So this pasture right here, this small little pasture, this is actually like our winter lot. This is kind of our sacrifice area, but it has been resting for 2 weeks, and since we mowed it down. And then this area right here in this pasture here, this has all been resting for 2 weeks as well. So what I want to do is I want to move the sheep. I want to move the sheep from over here at the bank barn and move them across the driveway. Ever since they had lambs, we have not moved them across to this pasture, which is actually fairly common for us to move them back and forth. So I need to get the lambs used. We need to get them used to going back and forth here. So we're just gonna have them go over there for a few hours today, and then we're gonna move them back before it gets dark. So to move them across the driveway, we've just got some white ropes. These are actually like, this is actually like electric fence for horses is what this is. But it's not electrified, and we just string these white ropes across to the gate opening on each side to make like a little alleyway, and they seem to move over there just fine. So it's just the lambs haven't done it before. Find out which one's top and bottom. Trying to untwist them, I'm not having much luck.
That's the top one.
There we go. All right, I'm good.
We're getting locked in, Nala. Come on.
Come on, you-yous.
Come on, you.
Come on. Come on. Come on, you-yous. You mamas know what's going on. There you go. Come on, you-yous. She lost her babies. Smoochie, you're still limping. I see it. Got a couple of you girls limping. There we go. There you go. You got a little limp too. Come on. You know, count them. There's like, should be like 25 sheep here.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Still got 24.
I thought we had 20. Oh, Mo's 25. We have a total of 25 sheep. One's a
Yes.
ram. So that's the right amount.
Okay.
Okay. That's still.
I don't think it's gonna come off, so.
Hey!
Oh, sorry.
You got me. That's about as good as we're gonna get without a pressure washer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it'll come off. I think the water will fill. It'll be clear.
Well, that's just hard water.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you can see out here we got a lot of white clover and grass, and we've got kind of this area right here, where's what we're letting them graze on today. So they may only be out here for a couple hours today because we have another chance of rain this afternoon. So if it starts to rain, we'll move them back across the road over to the barn where they've got at least some shelter. Well, after all that rain, like your guys' pig pen wasn't muddy enough, it is completely saturated. And the pigs, they were actually pulled their feeders out of the ground today, didn't they?
Yes, they were in the middle of the pen.
Yeah, and you had to take care of that, didn't you?
Yeah, I got covered in muck.
Yeah, so those feeders, these feeders have a couple like 12-inch spikes in them that go down into the ground to hold them in place. I think they can have maybe 4. I think I only got 2 in each one, but you were able to put those in by hand. It's so muddy.
Yeah.
Or you stepped them in, right?
Yeah. Mhm. Yep, they went right in, so they'll probably pull them out again tomorrow.
Yep. So we may have to figure something else out on the feed troughs. Just with all this water and everything, I don't think we're going to be able to get them to stay in place by anchoring them in the ground. We may have to strap them to the fence or something. I don't know. We'll have to come up with something. So I think I maybe mentioned this in the last video, but there is a farm auction that's happening just in a couple days. Big one, big consignment auction. Several hog feeders there. I mean, there's probably, it's crazy sometimes. There may be like 40 hog feeders for sale. And I have some bids on some of them. So we'll wait and see what happens, but I suspect next week there's a good chance I'll have different feeders anyway. So maybe I won't do anything about it.
They're good weeders.
Yeah, they're good at just like taking out all the vegetation. So we were just looking at the garden and Rebecca was pointing out how much they have sunk.
Yeah.
Since we did it. So I can see it over here fairly well. But remember, I put the topsoil, when I put it in here, the potting soil, I had it all the way up to the top of this board. And you can see how much it went down. That's probably 6 inches that these have settled. And so that's a lot of compost and a lot of stuff to add in here next year to try to help build it back up. And the worst ones, I think, were on this side here. They had hay in them. Like this one's really sunk down right there. It's almost 8 inches at that point in time. And the ones that didn't sink as much were those 2 far ones. I think they had probably more wood in the bottom, but they had the sawdust in those. So it seemed like those didn't settle as much. But these, with the hay and everything in them to help fill them up, these dropped a lot.
We got an audience.
We got an audience. Who's that? Maya?
Yeah, Maya, Ellie, Ollie, and Mo.
Sometimes during the day I see them sitting under the shade of this tree.
Hi, Maya. Hi, honey. Oh, goodness. Hi, Ollie. I don't have anything to eat. You just like to lick on my fingers.
Because he thinks you got a peanut butter sandwich.
I don't. I probably smell like a pig.
So I've had several people comment in videos that they have noticed that Ellie here is starting to bag up and starting to produce milk.
Yep, she's showing pretty good.
And she's due?
In September.
Yeah. Yeah, so we don't have to wait and see how it all works out, but we should have a calf in September. And I don't know if you can tell, but she's starting to hang down back here, starting to have, yeah, you can definitely tell she's full of milk. Yeah, so she's gotten a lot bigger.
Pregnant, yeah.
Yeah, definitely pregnant. So we have discussed that there's quite a few things that we'll probably have to prepare for. So this will be our first calf.
Yes, and...
So what do we think we need?
Well, I think we need something in case we need to pull the calf, which worries me because Ellie's so small. I wasn't as worried if Maya got pregnant, but Ellie's pretty little. She's 2 years old, a little over 2 years old, but she's quite small.
Yeah, when we did the artificial insemination, she was so small that PJ didn't really feel comfortable trying to you know, actually reach inside to do the artificial insemination. So yeah, she's very small she's almost like a mini Jersey.
Yeah.
Or she's like a mid-sized Jersey.
Yeah.
And we'll end up trying to milk, so we'll need everything to do with milking.
Yeah, and we'll probably get some preventative or treatment stuff for milk fever, just in case.
Which is when they are low on calcium from producing milk. But we talked about getting something to pull the calf. We've talked about having to have a milk stanchion and a place to be able to milk her.
And some feed.
And some, feed for her.
And probably some kind of mineral tub or protein tub or
so
might need something.
We're not sure how this is all going to go. So this is our first time with a calf, and this will be our first, or to have a calf born, and our first time trying to milk a cow. So this will be definitely a learning curve.
And Ellie's not as friendly as Maya, so.
Yeah, she don't like to be touched and petted and stuff like Maya. Maya craves attention, Ellie doesn't.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Now Maya, we don't think she's pregnant. Now little bull over here, he has tried. He's tried a couple times. We don't think he's got the job done yet. He's very young. He's very young. What are we thinking he is? This is the 5th month, so he's probably about 9 months old, somewhere in there.
So we're probably at least 9 months away from him.
Maybe. Yep. So we're just gonna leave them together, and if she gets pregnant, she gets pregnant. So, and we may calf at a weird time of the year, but we got barns, and we can put her in a barn, and I think we'll figure it out. Well, I think we decided we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna run to the local farm store real quick, see if we can pick up a few things we need, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. We got the essentials. The chickens were out of feed, so we picked up a couple bags of chicken feed. Apparently, I don't have any pump sprayers that actually work. They're all broken, so we got a new pump sprayer. We got some back rubber. We're gonna try to take care of some flies with the cattle. I did end up picking up Citrine Plus. This is an algicide for the pond, specifically for the algae problem. And then, of course, during the summertime, you always need wasp spray. Oh, we got another dead chicken. What the heck? So when we went in the coop to go fill up the feed, there was a dead chicken inside.
Yeah, and I had just been out here probably an hour and a half ago and gave him some scratch, and everybody was fine. But that's the second chicken this week that's died. Our first chicken, I knew had problems. It was obvious, and she seemed to be egg bound, and I tried to do different things, and we ended up putting her in a separate pen, and she just never got better. So I'm not sure what's going on with the chickens.
Yeah, I think most of our chickens are getting older.
They are old.
Yeah. So all the ones you see like free ranging around that are kind of speckled, like the speckled Sussex, that's what they are.
Yep.
We grew those probably
a couple years ago.
At least a couple years ago.
I think they're the youngest.
And they're the youngest. So all the rest of our chickens are probably 5 to even maybe 8 years old. So,
yeah, and we have one that's really old.
Yeah, we have one we may think is one of the originals from like back in 2016. So, so she'd be 9 years old, I guess. So we think most of our chickens are older. And that's maybe why. That's what I think. Maybe why they're dying. But that's another reason why we don't have like a huge amount of eggs. Eat too, because we only get 4 to 6 a day, something in there.
We got 7 today. We're in the.
But I didn't get them yesterday.
Oh.
That's why. So, but yeah, it seems like most of the chickens, I think our flock is slowly getting smaller. I think at one point in time we were up to 24. And we're down to like maybe 15, 16, somewhere in there now. Yeah. Yep. So next year we may have to look at
getting some new ones.
Yeah, replenishing the flock. So when you raise livestock, you do always end up having dead stock. You end up having some of them die on you. If it's a smaller animal like a chicken or a rooster or something like that, what we typically do is we just take them to the far corner of our property along the fence row, and that's where we toss them. And we try to keep them as far away from everybody else as possible, but then we just kind of let nature take care of it. The buzzards will come in, or coyotes, and they'll kind of take care of it. If it's one of our larger animals, like a cow, we had a cow, a heifer die, and we've had a goat die. Then we'll end up getting out the backhoe attachment on the tractor, and we actually dig a grave for them and bury them. But the smaller ones, yeah, we kind of take the easy route on those. Well, the hay field, hopefully you can tell, has gone to seed. It is super tall. In fact, all these seed heads out here, they're up to my shoulder. That's how tall this is. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use this back rubber. This is basically probably like permethrin. It's got an insecticide to it and probably mineral oil. It's kind of an oily substance so that it sticks to the cattle and helps keep the flies off of them. And we're gonna put this on a back rubber. This is we used one of these a couple years ago, and when Rebecca bought it, she bought two. So this one's been sitting in the barn for a couple years, so it's a little old. If you watch Farmer Tyler Ranch, you'll see he uses these as well. And we're gonna try to get this hung up today, and then hopefully the cattle rub up against it, helps keep the fly pressure down. So we've only got like 4 of these. These are like little strips, almost like t-shirt type cloth. And they're made to tie on this so that it dangles down and hopefully puts insecticide on the side of the cow. And we only got 4 of them. We're just gonna go ahead and tie them on here. And I think we used them all up on the one we did a couple years ago. Well, hopefully you can kind of tell what the strips look like. They just kind of dangle down. But I'm gonna do another little trick here. I saw this on Farmer Tyler Ranch as well. But he put it inside of a trough. I wish I had a smaller trough so it didn't have so much space, but this is gonna keep us from making a mess. And then we're gonna pour on. If you read the instructions, this 10-foot big back rubber, it says to charge it the first time, you're supposed to put on 2 gallons. And that is exactly what this is. It's supposed to absorb this whole jug. This one's more watery than the last one we had. This is a different brand. Yeah, it's just soaking it right up.
I wonder what it has inside there. Like,
I don't know. All right, it's all in. It looks like it absorbed most of it. There's just a little bit in the bottom, and we're gonna give it probably a little bit of time to see if we can get it to absorb the rest of it. So while we're waiting for the back rubber to soak all that in, I'm gonna use this pump sprayer. And what I'm gonna do, is this is what everybody has told me in the comments, not everybody, but a lot of people, every time I burn a brush pile, they say I should spray the diesel on the pile with a pump sprayer and then light it on fire. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. And I looked for a pump sprayer earlier today and they were all broke. So we're gonna try this out. I'll try to burn that pile one more time before I abandon it today. Now keep in mind, diesel, it's number 2 fuel oil. Kerosene is number 1 fuel oil. They're very similar. This is very similar to kerosene. It's just not as, doesn't burn quite as clean as kerosene. If you could say either one of them actually burn clean, probably not. Feels like it's pressured up. Let's see if we can get it to burn this time. It actually does spray pretty decent. Probably better if I had a lot of it down here at the bottom, right? For heat to rise. I don't know. So I emptied out the pump sprayer. I got that full gallon of diesel on there, which is the same amount I used earlier, except I got way better coverage. So I actually did like the sprayer. I think that was a good idea. but it may not still burn just because it's too wet, but it's actually starting to sprinkle. So this is probably our last chance to do it because it's gonna rain here pretty soon.
Ooh, it's hot.
Yeah, you can feel the heat.
Yeah.
30 feet away, no problem. Now you can see how much flames there is right now. But that diesel ain't gonna last long. So if it doesn't catch fire this time, I mean, there's no getting it to catch fire today, that's for sure. Well, I think this image speaks for itself. I think this is a no-go. All right, now we look inside the water trough here. You don't see any puddled up. It looks like it actually absorbed everything. So we'll go ahead and see if we can get this hung up. So this gate opening, I think, is 18 feet wide. And I thought this back rub was only 10 feet.
It is. It's 10.
So that means I need about 10 or 4 feet of rope on each side. Right there, about 4 feet.
I don't know.
Yeah, I should never ask you. Should never ask you to like give me a measurement. There you go. Trying to not get too oily with this. Oh man, it is dripping out of that. Well, that's not melting very good. There it goes. There we go. All right, that's one end. These things get pretty heavy with the 2 gallon. Watch me fall in the mud. With the 2 gallons of liquid on them. Put it in there. Okay, now we're just gonna pull it. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna fall on the ground. Okay, now go ahead and tie a knot. I got it. Kinda. Well, this is definitely a 2-person job if you want it tight. Now, slide that down. Scared me. No, you gotta pull it toward me. There you go. That's how you tighten that knot.
Well, I was trying to
Now,
get it.
do another one. Do the second one, half hitch. There you go. Well, it's not ideal because it's a lot lower than we wanted. We're gonna see if we can get it a little higher, maybe. Oh, you're doing it. Okay, there we go. That's higher. Not real high, but it's higher. It's like a new toy. Maybe it will work. Maybe they'll mess with it. Get the stuff on them. Keep the flies off of them. She's a goofball. You can do it, Maya. Oh, you're almost through. You just gotta keep going. Why are you licking it?
She's trying to eat it.
I don't think it would taste good. Oh my
Come on,
goodness.
Molly.
Don't push down on it. Well, we're gonna find out how durable this thing truly is. We have the ultimate tester right here. Don't go over it. Don't do that.
No, Maya.
There you go. Just keep coming. Maya, don't do that. Oh, she really stretched it out now. Well, as soon as I turned around, Maya ended up jumping over it.
Oh.
Now she's all feisty.
No.
Hey.
She's a little angry.
What is going on with you? Crazy cow. It didn't work out real well. It's too low. But I thought about it afterwards. It just hit me. The way we could get that really tight, we're trying to like hold it and stretch it and tie a knot all at the same time. It's just too heavy with 2 gallons of liquid in there. Is I could get like a come along, and I could put a come along on it, and I could pull it fairly tight, and then we can sit there and actually tighten the knot up properly. And then once we release it, hopefully it'll stay nice and straight. But there's a good chance they're going to keep on pulling on it and tugging on it and stretching it back out. So.
And of course we have a broken cow. Just gonna jump over it.
A broken cow. She's just a crazy cow. We have a crazy heifer. All right, we're going to try this one more time. And we're going to try to make sure it's a little bit higher, and we're going to use a come along to stretch it tight. We do have a carabiner, so we can use a carabiner at one end. And I guess worst case scenario, we might be able to like unhook it and lay it down if we need to. Hopefully we won't. I'm gonna drill a hole through here to help keep the rope captive up high. And then we need to tighten this one up a little, shorten this side up a little bit, because it was way too far to the other side. Now on this post, to keep it up high, we're gonna drive a brace pin right here and have it sticking out so that the rope rests on top of it and can't slide down the post. And I think that'll work. Okay. Man, we are working slop.
Yeah.
All right, so I got my carabiner tied on here, and I'm just trying to get it to clip. There we go, we're clipped on. Now we'll just release it. All right. All right, we got the back rubber rehung, and it doesn't have as much sag in it as it does before. It's way better. But if Maya does what she did earlier and starts pushing down on it and starts messing with it, she may stretch it out and may end up hanging low to the ground again. We'll just have to wait and see, but we're doing what we can to try to help them with the fly problem. The summer's always bad with flies, and it annoys the cows terrible, and I'm just hoping this helps. Well, you just walked around it. Guess you didn't mess with it that time. Well, I'm not sure what to say about that. You hang it too low, they mess with it and jump over it, and you hang it too high and they just go around it. So, I don't know. We'll just leave it there for a while, see what happens.
You ready to go back, girls?
I don't know if they're quite ready to go back, as they probably just think we have food.
They got fed earlier.
They're used to every time they're seeing us, they get fed.
How come you have all the babies with you? Come on, girls. Come on.
I don't think they actually want to come back.
Come on. Come on. No, come on. You're not going in the
There they
barn.
go.
Come on.
Yep.
Hey.
And here comes the last of them.
Come on.
So we've had them over here in this pasture for probably a little over 5 hours today. And it's getting close to 7 o'clock in the evening. It's time to move them back.
Let's go. Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
I think we moved the sheep at the right time because now it is raining again. It's not heavy, but it is raining. So I thought I'd come out here to the pond. The other thing I bought at the farm store was that Citrine Plus, and that is an algicide. So I think that the clipper or the Flumigard or whatever I was using to treat the pond, it did work a little bit, but it really seems to have a hard time with the algae. And I think it got a decent amount of the duckweed once I sprayed the entire pond. So the pond looks better, but we still have algae problem. So after I sprayed it last time, what was on the surface on top where I sprayed seemed to die, but what was underneath it didn't die off. So we still have like algae along the shoreline here. I still think there might be some duckweed out here, but it's mostly algae right now. So here you can see more algae here along this shoreline. You might, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You might be able to see the aerator there and the aerator over there. I do have the aerator running 24/7. I actually did like a quick startup on it. Instead of like starting it for 15 minutes, I think I ran it like 30 minutes the first day, and then I think I quadrupled it. I ran it about 2 hours the next day, and then it was about 8 hours, and then about 12 hours, and now I've got it running all the time. And I don't have any dead fish. It started up fine. So the aerator's going. And what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to oxygenate the water, and then you can get some aerobic bacteria. It's bacteria that needs oxygen. And then hopefully that will start kind of cleaning up the water a little bit, help clarifying it, and maybe cleaning up some of the muck a little bit. It'll help the pond quite a bit, having that extra oxygen in the water. It'll do more than just fish. It'll actually help with some beneficial bacteria as well. But my plan is to use that Citrine Plus, and to treat this, not tonight, but maybe tomorrow or the next day, sometime this week, I'm gonna treat the algae and try to get rid of it. And that stuff was approved for ponds. It's actually approved for potable water, like water you physically, that you would drink. You can use that Citrine Plus in. So it's supposed to be completely safe. It's actually a copper-based algicide. And yeah, I'm gonna try that this coming week, and hopefully that will take care of the algae better than the other stuff. And I've had tons of people tell me that I need to put in tilapia in the pond, because tilapia are actually plant eaters. They'll eat the duckweed, they'll eat the algae. And the problem is tilapia do not like cold water, and they'll die off. And they don't sell them around here because all the tilapia will die off in the wintertime. So I did find a place that sells them. I think it's down by Evansville, Indiana, kind of down. So it's a little ways away, but I did find a place that sells them, and we may have to make a little project to be able to haul them that far. Like if I want to go get tilapia and put them in the pond, I'm gonna need like an aerated tank to be able to pick them up and bring them back without them dying and running out of oxygen along the trip. Because this place, it was farther than Evansville. It was probably a 2.5 hour drive to go get the tilapia. So I'm considering that. But then they'll all die this winter, but they might take care of the algae during the summer. That would be the good thing about having them. So after we got 3 inches of rain over the last few days, and it's kind of misting right now, I really think I can't do much around the farm when it's like that. Now I did start cleaning out the garage. I actually started cleaning it out. I've got like one more bay I need to clean out. I'm trying to get it all cleared so that I can start putting in that car lift in there. So I'm working towards that. But yeah, I haven't been able to do too much over the last few days because of the rain. And today was just kind of a mishmash. It was just kind of little odds and ends here and there, just trying to see what we can do without having to use any heavy equipment, because we would just tear things up after all that rain. Everything's too soft. But I think for this video, it's probably gonna be a fairly short video, but I just haven't been able to do too much over the last few days. So I'm hoping that in a couple days it'll stop raining, it'll dry out, and I'm hoping for a window to cut hay. And but after 3 inches of rain, I got a feeling that the ground is still gonna be soggy and wet, and I'm afraid I'm not gonna be able to cut hay this week. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I think that's gonna be it for this video, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.